Welcome back, guys. In today's session, we are going to learn how to create the financial years into the systems or the fiscal years into the BA system. So, in this session today, we are going to learn what's basically the financial year, how we can create the financial year into the BA system. So, before moving into the system, let's understand what's basically the financial year is. So normally, a year is a 12 periods basically, and these 12 periods can be of the calendar year or cannot be from the calendar year. It might be from a calendar year because some country follows the calendar year as a financial year. Like in US, it is going to be 1st of January till 31st of December, while in India, it is going to be 1st of April till 31st of March. So these are generally 12 periods, but it is not always necessary to have the financial year in such a form, but generally it would be followed in such a way. So a financial year or a fiscal year is a specific period of time that an organization uses for financial reporting and accounting purposes. It is typically a 12-month period, but may not necessarily align with the calendar year. The purpose of defining a financial year is to facilitate consistent and systematic financial reporting, budgeting, and planning within an organization. So, this is basically the financial year. Now, let's see how we can create a financial year into the VA system. So, I'm going to log in with my ABC admin, and once you logged in, you just need to search your calendar year period control, or period. So there can be a different names based on to the version of the Vienna Advantage. So I'm searching calendar year period. So here is the window, calendar year period. By default, a calendar gets generated as a result of a TNN process, and we need not to create multiple calendars, and we need to define the financial year under the calendar. Okay, now this is the primary calendar. How do you identify it, whether it is a primary calendar or not? You need to zoom to the TNIT window, and from the TNIT window you can move on to the TNIT info, and at the level of the TNIT info you would be able to see that your calendar is a primary calendar, because whichever the calendar linked with the level of the TNIT are considered as a primary calendar. So it's a primary calendar. Now, the two things, whether we need to create the calendar, different calendar or not. So you can create two different calendars. Only the difference is when you have an organization that works in a different region. Let's suppose if I have two legal entities, one is working in here in India, while the another one is working in US, and both follows a different financial year. In such a case, I can generate two different calendars, and these calendars can be binded with my legal entities. So let's create first the calendar. So if I want to create a new, I'm not going to create a new calendar. Instead, I'm going to create a year. So here by default, there is a year generated by the system, that is 2023. Now the legal entity that I have generated is of India. So our financial year is going to be 2023 to 2024, and calendar year is doing this. Then we need to move on to the period, since the period is already generated as a result of a TNN generation process. So I just need to update. To update it, I will say it is 15, 16, and 17. The period number should be the unique one. So I'm starting, my first period is from April, second is May, third is June, fourth is July, fifth is August, sixth is September, then 7th October, 8th November, 9th December, and then my 10th period is basically January, and that is going to be 24. So we just need to rename it as 24, make it 2024. So that's my 10th period. my 11th period is going to be February 24. So make it 2024, 2024. And my last period is going to be the March. Okay. So change it to 2024, 2024. Okay. Now, once my periods are generated, then it is important if you want to need to make this change. And now you will be able to see I have 12 periods. Since this period gets generated automatically as a result of TN generation process, and TN generation process create your year or your periods from 1st of Jan to 31st of December. So the first period needs to be changed manually before delivering the site to the customer. Okay. Now this is all 12 periods generated by the system. Apart from that, if I want to open a period, then what I need to do, right now we are into the May month and I want to open the period. So you just need to click here and you need to open your period. So click onto the organization, select for which organization. By default everything is in star. So I will say okay. So my all 24 document base types are open now, and the user would be able to do the transactions for these document based types. Now the next is basically you want to define a certain non-business day. So it is again one of the very useful things. Let's say here in India, the Republic Day, you cannot do your business on Republic Day or Independence Day. So I would be able to define so that if somebody by mistake enters any entry into the system on Republic Day, then the system will not allow you to process such an entry, and in such a case a message would come. Okay, so I have 26th 01/2024. Similarly, I can define Independence Day, that is 15th. So let's say Independence Day, that is 15/8/2023. So in such a way you would be able to define your non-business day. Okay, so that is how we can set up the year. Apart from that, if I want to create the next year, I just need to say new record 2024-2025. I need to select 224, save, and I just need to click process. Now need to select the starting month, that is April, say okay, and once you will click on OK button, the periods gets generated successfully, because in the background the system runs a certain process that generates your periods, and you would be able to see your periods. And here the period is starting from 1st of April till 25th, March 25th. Okay, 2025. So you would be able to see how easily the system created all this period and how easily we can maintain. And under each period, you would be able to see your period controls. And these needs to be open whenever the period comes up. And the previous period you would be able to close if you don't want that somebody will do any kind of transaction or process any kind of transaction. Why? Either it would be of inventory or it would be from the accounting side. So all the controls there available at the financial year. Okay. Now, at the end, as I have mentioned, you can create the calendar. So if I want to generate a calendar for a certain organization, since I have a single organization, I'm not going to generate the calendar. But if you want to generate the calendar specific to a certain organization, you can do so. So you just need to enter the name of the calendar, then you can define the year, and you will process and generate the periods in such a way. Now, in such cases, at the level of the organization, what you need to do, at the level of the organization, as I have mentioned in my video, if you haven't gone through with the video, you can go and check the organization video. And at this particular level, you would be able to define your calendar. Okay. So presently, I do not have multiple calendars, so it is all well for us not to link anything here. And this is the way how you would be able to create the financial year into the EA system. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.